Hello there, Bruce here. So this Honda GCV160 came in. It looks like my MTD a lot. I think it is actually. And the guy who owns it is a licensed mechanic, and he just hates working on small stuff. So he told me that the either the engine would run flat out like 6,000 RPMs or at 2,000 RPMs, nothing in the middle. So what I did, I never even tried it. I washed it with the power washer, and now it just starts up and runs a little bit slow. So that's kind of interesting. So we'll just do that. It's got the same choke, right? So we'll just start it up for you. Sorry for the shaky. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, also he told me that it leaked fuel from the carburetor, but I have not experienced that. I opened up the gas valve yesterday and it's been sitting for a whole day, and there's no wet marks or anything underneath it. Although it still looks pretty dirty, doesn't it? I'll just start it up and you can hear what it sounds like. Oh, choke's already coming off. You can hear what it sounds like. So it sounds like it's running just a little bit slow, but it does need a tune-up too. This filter is probably usable, but it's getting pretty deteriorated on the edges for a seal. It looks like a little dirt's starting to get through too. So anyway, I'm going to just adjust the RPM by tweaking that arm down a bit. And we'll see if we can get it with the new filter, to see if we can get it to run at the right RPM. I was wrong. 3,600 RPM. That's why you look things up, right? Can you see that? We'll just... right there. Okay. All right. I'm just going to set this RPM up a little bit higher. I'm taking the governor arm, which is what that is right there. I hold the top so that I can get a little bit of leverage on it, and I just bend that down so small, that arm there. Now we'll see what our RPM is. So just hang on. Now my tack is dangerous. I have to actually put a mark on the blade and measure that mark on the blade with that laser. So let's just crank her up. So we'll do it. Push that out of the way. Go a little further up. So the new tack, when I get my new tack, you just attach it to the spark plug wire, and it does an impulse check instead of an actual RPM. Same thing though. It counts the spark instead of the RPM. But it's right at 3589, 3601, 3612. So that's as good as it gets. Now we're going to tune it up. Change the oil. So I'll just get the pan out and we'll change it. Be right back. So FYI guys, this fellow is a mechanic and he did not know that to check the oil you only put the dipstick in to the beginning of the threads, don't screw it all the way in. And look at, I know that that's less than 500 milliliters or half a quart of oil. I just know that by looking at it. So that's an important thing. When you're checking the oil, you insert this just till it stops at the threads here, not screw it all the way in, because it makes that much difference on how much oil you've got, right? Did you guys get that? I hope so. So anyway, don't screw this in, just stick it until it touches, and then make sure the oil is at the top X. So anyway, I'm going to stick some, we're going to pump it up. So while you're watching, I guess we'll do the oil. Now this is like watching paint dry.
Still just a slow.
My last lawnmower lasted 27 years and I used 1030. Do it, Bob. Oh, excuse me, I'm still killing that cold. Snort. So we'll just screw that in until we're done. I guess that would go a little quicker. And now I'm just going to have a look at the spark plug. And we'll open the door. Don't get windy. Don't mind me, I like to keep track of who's in the alley. Where are we at? 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, spark plug. I think it's going to be dirty. Oh, it's not bad at all. Look at that. It's just perfectly white on the tip. Maybe even a little lean. Okay, well, I'm just going to clean this a little bit with a wire brush and some carb cleaner. I know that's another issue. Everybody has their own way of doing things. All right, this little plug is gapped at 28 and it's really clean. Looks great. There's the hole in the carburetor. Hey guys, sorry about that. So this is something that Dave Ackerman showed me. I got 2 dowels that used to be Honda bolts, and you can assemble everything with just those bolts instead of using the ones with the heads. You can just slip everything on as required. It's kind of hard to show you because it's maybe not. Okay, so we got the choke spring. We got the throttle cable. And then we just put the carburetor in. We're just making sure we have everything lined up here. Yes, we do. Isn't that slick? And then we have our gasket, which goes on the back of here, which goes on there. So now this guy just goes on there like that. And we do it up loosely. Can you see that over here? Yes, you can. Barely. I tell you, this is the only way to do this. Okay, now we're going to put this on. I'll just turn these out. Wish they were a little bit longer, but need more fingers, right? Good. Let's do the other one. And we should be there. Nothing's falling down, nothing's drooping out. I tell you, that's the way to go. Okay, I forgot to put the bowl on the float on the carburetor, but I got it afterwards. So now we're all buttoned up and the gas is turned on. We're going to see how this baby runs. Should be the same or better. I did find some slight clogs on the emulsion tube, so that should liven this guy right up. Alright, it's the next day and I'm just finishing up this Honda. It just had lots of little things wrong with it, you know, nothing really specific. I think the big thing was that it got some dirt in the governor arm. Now, Double Wide 6 does a nice video on getting a seal for that governor arm hole. I'm going to try my new lithium grease. Whoop. There we go. Some volume. Now after I do this, I'm going to I want to get this scum off this case because this mower would look brand new if I can do that. Okay, the cables. I don't know about these hoses that they send with these cans. I'm just doing the cables. You guys just watching me work, right? Oh, baby, hard on my back. Good. What else we got? A few pivot points, I guess. Oh yeah, we got to add a tie wrap to that cable. Black tie wraps. Or I get these in my stocking at Christmas time, but these black tie wraps looked like the ones from the factory, and they just help to isolate things from getting beat up, right? Well, actually, there's one there. There, that helps. I used the factory one. We'll stick another one right in here. cut that off after. So now I'm just going to clean up the mower with some polishing paste, believe that. Okay, looks as good as it can now. All shined up. I just used a very aggressive automotive paint paste on that because it was pretty scratched up. Put some gas in it. Let's do the next day startup. Now, for those of you who can afford to wait a day, this is a good thing to do. I don't have a lot of room because it's the weekend. We got more cars in here, right? Okay, let's get this in focus. Let's do it from down here. And that should do it. A weird choke on these. We'll start her up. Thanks for watching.